I was unaware. Okay, where did we back? I mean, we got an early program tonight, so I'd like to get us started. We're not going to be able to see the people that are joining remotely. Yeah, so we're going to be monitoring anything, and if they have any questions, they should leave them in the chat. So let's start. My name is I'm co-chair of the River Road Community Organization. I live just a few blocks down on River Road. We have a business there, and I've been in the neighborhood for about 40 years. So if you want to introduce yourselves and just very briefly, where you live. So,
my name is Tara, and I live on Lake Drive, and I've been there for, I think, 20 years. Julie June, and live down by the Greenway Bike Bridge, and been there 42 years.
Nancy Buffum. I live at River Sunco Housing, which is at the end of Oakwood. And 2022.
Oh, my name is Pat Riley. I live here in Marion, outside of the elementary school, and I've been there longer than I can remember.
My name's Lynn Moncart, live on Alpay, well, south of 30, but I can still remember when I was in there for years, give or take.
My name's Cassandra Myrick. I used to live in the River area, and my dad moved over and came to Bethel, but I'm introducing a business to town. I fully believe in finding out what good work people are doing before I try to recreate wheels and figure out how I can complement. So I'm here to figure out what you guys are doing great.
thank you. Are you a part of the Bethel community?
I'm going to be. It's one of the things that I've just gotten to a point of being healthy enough to do business. So now part of my introduction of this is finding out who else is out there doing great things.
Yeah, and they're quite an active organization. I'm Melanie Carlone, and I live near the River Road Rec Center. And I've been there for 2 years.
I'm Claire Strawn. I'm a co-chair along with Beth. I live on Horn Lane since. I'm Terry Waldron. I'm to the board, and I live on the first one. I've been here for 7 years.
I'm Mike Meyer, board member, and East Howard Avenue for about 10 years.
Oh, I'm Kylie. I live off of Hawthorne. Been there about 10 years.
And Kylie is our wonderful tech person. Thank you. Jan.
Oh, I'm Jan, and on board, moved over here on pension for 25 years.
I'm Patricia Montoya Donahue, and I live on LP Drive and been there since 2003.
I'm Connie, and I live on Evergreen, and just moved in last April, so it'll be about 8 months, although I've lived in England for 20 years before that. And
yeah, maybe and same, yeah.
welcome.
Hi, I'm Alberta. Let's see, 3 years.
Hi, I'm Pia. I live off of Highway 99, in between, and I have been in Oregon since 2019.
I'm Robert. I live over on Dalton Drive, and I've been there my whole life.
Which is how many years?
Okay, announcements. I know you have your announcements.
No, I don't, I guess something like that. My wife passed away 2 years ago and, this month, and at that time, some of her close friends proposed that, the city of Eugene established a memorial park in her memory. It turns out that that was not viable, and the next was that we would, have a kiosk there, named in her memory, but the city didn't want to do that either. So this summer, the city of Eugene, authorized a park bench in her memory. And so in late September, early October, we started a fundraising drive to pay for that. And I'm happy to announce that we have achieved our goal. We essentially did it during the month of November, and it was substantially small donations, which I'm happy about because that represents a broad spectrum of the neighborhood. So and I subsequently had an opportunity to visit with the landscape design person to the city, and they have proposed 3 sites, potential sites for a memorial bench, all of them adjacent to the bike path, and the kiosk can be seen from all 3 locations, so it's essentially in the center of our neighborhood that Carly loves so well. So there are 2 sites on the east side across the bike path that faces the river, and then there's a 3rd site that's across the bike path to the west that faces west. And so I've got to decide which one of those I like best at some point. But it's a go. Construction will happen this summer at some point. And I just want to thank everybody for their support. It's gratifying to me. We got a late start, but things turned out really well. If you're interested in the exact locations after the meeting, I have an aerial picture I can show you. Yeah, it's been gratifying to have it fall into place so quickly, and I say, I'm not a camper.
Was the information of the location, is that something that could be published in the e-blast?
Oh, sure, but we have to decide which one.
Once you guys are doing
Yeah.
it, yeah, once you.
Oh, and the bench will be the city, of course, has a standardized design. But it will be wrought iron on a concrete platform, and it will have an engraved plaque with a saying on it. And I'm partial to having it face the river because I think that's essential to, my neighborhood. Oh, I know how I found out about how the bench idea came about. I cycle in the good weather with a cycling group here in Eugene, and we meet down at the duck pond at Alton Baker. And one morning I was looking at the bench that's there, and I saw this plaque. And a lot of you know Terry Finnegan, who is involved with Santa Clara neighborhood. He's also the treasurer of the Eugene Neighborhood and Park Review, which is one of the funding sources that we use. Anyway, and he and his wife for years rescued greyhound dogs who were done through their racing careers. So anyway, I look at that plaque, and his greyhound group was responsible for that bench being there with a plaque honoring his wife. So it kind of all comes together.
That's nice. Jan, you have something?
Yeah, a couple items I want to make sure people know about a kind of a Zoom mix and mingle on Saturday, January 24th about gardening, food production, and permaculture. I'm going to put this over here on this table, and you can take a picture of it, because you need to go to a link to get the Zoom link, because I can't write out the Zoom link, it's a little too long for that. But I also want to mention that I brought some posters, of course, our all-time favorite punk culture, suburban posters. And I also bought some lemons that I don't want to go home with, so I'll help myself to those. And several of us are in the very, very early going of putting on an event, most likely in April. It's all about gardening and encouraging that more, and probably have it over at the former Our Redeemer Lutheran Church. So if you're interested in being part of that, then contact me or Terry or Claire, because that site is going to be seeing some very different land use in the coming years, and it could be a really important part of moving, you know, food production and permaculture kind of ideas further into the neighborhood. So talk to Terry, Claire, or me about that very early in the going right there. So if you want to help, let us know.
That event will be instead of the April general meeting.
Eileen, we hear the people. I was just gonna have them introduce themselves.
It would be best if they did it via chat.
Okay, if
If they
go
want
in the
to.
chat, those of you that are online, who you are. Dan mentioned we don't have that. Oh, that's you.
You see it in the camera.
Jan mentioned the April meeting in March. We're going to be hearing about the river and watershed. And if you have a minute too.
Yeah, a couple things. We're still doing ecstatic dance on Sundays over at Becca's house on Ivanhoe. We do it the second and fourth Sunday, and it's a community built and very social event. We do potlucks and things like that for free-form movement, both indoors and outdoors on the deck and inside. And also I have flyers back there for a house concert early February for Jeff Blankenhorn, who is an awesome music legend. A lot of awesome music awards.
Great. Any other announcements? Yes.
Hi, everyone. I'm Robert. I'm with the Wayne County Immigrant Defense Network. I just wanted to make a quick announcement. You may have heard there's been an increase in ICE activity around Eugene and Springfield the past few nights. Because of that, we're trying to spread the word to as many people as possible about the Portland Immigrant Rights Coalition hotline. That's a phone number that you can call if you see ICE activity in your area. They'll alert rapid responders, trained rapid responders. They come to the site of the incident and observe and document ICE activity and try to hold them more accountable. Because we've seen some really terrible behavior from ICE agents in the past, racial profiling and really brutal behavior during arrests. And so we want to make sure that these officers are being held accountable for their actions and that this assault on our immigrant neighbors is being reported. You can find that phone number on flyers that are left on the table back there. It has the phone number and it has some information on how to most effectively report incidents to the FERC operators. There's also another flyer back there for another event that we're trying to spread the word about. The Oregon Farm Workers Union is calling for a series of actions leading up to May 1st. Is the Day Without an Immigrant Actions, where one day a month they're asking people to stay home from work, stay home from school, and not go shopping to make an economic impact, show our collective strength, and show people like Trump what an America without immigrants would actually look like. Once again, there's more information on flyer back there. The next event is going to be on Martin Luther King Day. We will, I believe, be joining with the NAACP's march on that day. Is there anything I can do today?
No, I think that about covers it. Yeah, there's a link on the flyer that has the PERC hotline, which is another thing from the price that also gives you more information about the Wayne County Immigrant Center, which is the organization that I'm here with. So if you want to get more involved, there's QR code on the flyer. So.
We have lots of volunteer opportunities.
Good work.
Thank you.
Do you have any, open meetings coming up for your organization?
I'll have to check the date for the next, we do have, regular meetings, I'll have to check the date for.
Okay.
So definitely, if you want to get involved, follow the blog
Yeah.
on that one, and there's a signal chat that you want to join. That's kind of a really good way to stay informed about what's going on and all the working.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. All right, which one of our things will go to sit down?
It's so much for sharing.
There's a meditation and music retreat happening on Horn Lane this weekend. So anybody who wants information, I have the flyer for you.
On the 10th, not this weekend, right?
What's that?
The 10th, not this weekend.
It is this weekend.
It is, oh dear.
Sorry. 10th and 11th. It's on the 10th and 11th, and on Saturday night there's actually music and a class on group will be listening. So if if you're not a meditation type, you just come and listen to some music. The rest of it is the connection between meditation and music. Anything else?
Okay, in March, we will be having board elections. If any of you are interested or have questions, contact me, Claire, Mike, or Terry. And that will be coming in March. Anything else, Claire, I'm missing?
Yeah, anybody can join the board. You don't have to be fancy or have a lot of experience, or you just have to live in the neighborhood and have come to a meeting before. So we really, if you're interested, connect with us and we'll talk to you one-on-one on the, what it looks like.
And you have to have come to at least one.
And here they are.
So be sure that you signed in back there tonight. Hey, anything else? That I'm going to turn it over to Mike, who is coordinator for this program.
Good evening. Happy New Year. We talked about in the spirit of the new year, starting off with some wellness. So we have a rich community, not only a garden community, but we kind of have a wellness community too. There's a lot going on here with people doing amazing work to promote individual and community wellness. So we asked a few people to present to us. And imagine a warm fire here. Too, and also imagine your New Year's resolutions. Anybody make a New Year's resolution? It's like a minute. Okay. So, yeah, this is in the spirit of maybe not an overt resolution, maybe just the spirit of wellness in the new year, and we'll see how we hone it in from there. So with that, I collected some of the people I just admire the most in this community. This will be a sampling. Becca Perry was on the list, but she wasn't feeling well today, so couldn't make it. But we'll have 15 minutes from each of the other presenters. If I give the presenters a 2-minute warning, a peace sign, that's what that means. And with that, official red up here for our first presenter. And somebody I really admire in the community, and I've seen her work be appreciated by so many people, and multi-dimensional practitioner for sure. And Dr. Melanie Carlin has had 9 lives as a physical therapist, working in fields as diverse as Navy medical hospitals and the burn unit in Kenya. Today, she has both feet solidly in the somatic healing arts here in Eugene. Dr. Melanie Carlin.
So it's interesting because today I just did a short video. I have a YouTube channel that I've been really pumped with information. And I thought, I'm not really even going to present that. Just it's so fresh. And when people are really interested in this, when we make decisions about changing our behavior, about doing something new, about stepping into a new way of being, how hard that can be to stick with.
So I don't know if any of you go to gym or yoga classes, but they're really full. Right? And budget everywhere. And there's a reason for that. It goes beyond like discipline. It goes beyond the sense that maybe you didn't pay the right attention. And that is at the most fundamental level. We've had hundreds of thousands of years of development in this body. And then we got plunked down into this environment that is anything but normal or natural. And right now, these lights are beaming millions of vibrations at us. We don't even know what it does to our brain. Try to find an incandescent light. Yeah, it's very interesting. Forget about firelight, right? Firelight, the little mitochondria in your cells aren't even part of your human body. They provide all the energy for your body, and they agree to come aboard because we give them sunlight. Fire. When's the last time you really had a chance to get sit down and fire? So in so many ways, we're living out of sync with nature and out of sync with ourselves, and it really has an impact. So the thing that I'm bringing that back to this idea that we have these good intentions, we want to change, and then we're not able to. It's because literally our nervous systems are living in a state of hyperactivity. Probably heard the vagal, you see heads going up and down. Know this. These sympathetic parts of our nervous system that were meant to run to get away from the lion, except there's no lion. There's something like it. And it has a profound effect on our sleep, on our digestion, on our ability to be whole and healthy. So now it's kind of up to us, like when I was young, when I was young and started to learn about holistic health, it was like you did a liver cleanse or it's like 6 months. When you really focused in on, your supplements and things like that. But now it's kind of in our best interest to really tune in to what we can do to bring our bodies the resources that we need to be healthy in a world that's kind of gone amok. And I really believe we're coming back to center. I see it all around me, so that helps me a lot. That one thing, knowing that there are so many good people like all of you doing what you're doing, matters. It really matters. So the first takeaway I want to give you tonight in that sort of somatically balancing is to just take a breath in your low back. And not even put your hands, because we're not used to breathing this way. We're all much old hits from yogi, so you keep in our bellies. And keeping your hands here, let your thumbs move out to the back and the side. See if you can get your low back lifts. Bring your awareness back. And think about being grateful. Over here, I'm just really thinking here that you have this body built to serve. And feel the breath behind you. Because when you're vigilant out front, you're not breathing behind you. You're trying to get away from the line. And when you breathe back here, if you watch a newborn baby before the world got scary, that's really breathe. You can practice. But you always get certain. But sometimes it's really helpful to have that stimulation. You could actually feel the low back. Nice. It's hard to do. When people have a lot of back pain or they're in states of great anxiety, they can't feel it. So if you have a friend who's having anxiety, bring your hands around behind them, right? Either in a hug or behind them, and ask them just to breathe into your hands. Feel your hands in control. Simple technique. But one that you'll notice can really calm, because it wakes up that part of the vagus nerve, that vagus nerve that travels through the body and tells everything how to be in relationship, what state you're in. That's really simple. So that part of the nervous system that's trying to protect us has 3 main modes throughout the world. So there's the fight and flight. Okay, now I'm a physical therapist, so I'm not into this. Because when I watch, I can't shut it off actually. When I watch people move, I can see where old patterns of holding have reflected themselves in someone's body. So the fight-flight reflex activates the back part of the body. These are the archetypal bully people who are military stance and can't soften. Why? Because that fight and flight instinct attaches itself to the back of the body's nervous system, the back musculature, tightens and shortens. And these are the people that can't bend over to touch their toes. They become inflexible in response. There's like a whole archetype that develops when you've been in that mode. Can you visualize that person?
Yeah.
We all kind of know that person. You say my dad was kind of that person. Love him. But that has a toll, right? A lot of back pain, neck pain, kidney issues, all kinds of things. Very interesting. Then there's the person who's gotten more into the protection of the red light and flash. And you'll see people who are kind of hunched over in the supermarket, they have to lean on things. There can be a lot of reasons for it, but often it's because the musculature in the front of the body is continuously tight. Pain in the solar plexus, shortening the abdomen, always holding your belly in, this kind of thing. That has a whole effect on your body, how you are in relationship with gravity. And then there are people who get stuck in freezing. And that's sort of the extreme of the nervous system that's wrong. Those are the people who often see people have chronic depression, close to suicide or committing suicide. It's because the nervous system can't see a way to bounce back. So these are really important things to see in others and others in ourselves when they have a physiological expression in their life. The cool thing is that you can do this to help bring back regulation. Many things. So another very simple, yeah. Bring your awareness back around to breath in the low back. And you may notice as you're listening to me, I can see eyes starting to droop. That's actually a really cool thing. I don't take offense because as you're kicking in, most of us do a lot of work, overwork all the time. As soon as you tap into that part of the nervous system, what happens? Did you know the Dalai Lama, when he speaks, about 30% of the room is asleep and contemplating? It's a known fact. If you ever go see the Dalai Lama, you look around, I was like, oh, I can't do that. So there's something about that energy of down regulating and quiet. Really good job. Take naps. Whenever you speak. Okay. So breathing in the low back, bringing your awareness around, imagine what's behind you. Another really simple technique. Think about it, because if you're really alert, anxious, and your focus pinpoint straight ahead, soften your field. Notice what's behind you and beside you. Calms the nervous system. Let your eyes right now just go to one side. You don't have to do it hard. Keep your head straight forward and eyes to the side and just hold them there. You may notice that I just automatically have a deeper breath. Maybe your stomach gurgles a little bit. You can have the other side. You can look up or down. Actually, I'm sure you could probably tell something about people's personality by which way they look, but we won't get into that. Just to the side. Now your nervous system again is being told through your eyes, which are a really important part of your regulation, it's safe. I don't need to pay attention. Pay attention on the side. Okay, so that's been about 30 seconds. Usually it's within a minute. Who can feel something different? Bring your eyes forward. That's when you'll notice the difference. You feel something different? You feel this one. You feel it? It is subtle. It's interesting. So you can try this at night if insomnia hits and you feel yourself tense, you can't sleep. Immediately look back. Hold your eyes gently to the ceiling. It's also very comforting to have a hand. Let's try this now on your solar plexus and one on your heart. And just feel the warmth. You can do cool stuff like breathe in through your heart and out through your belly, breathe in through your belly and out through your heart. But honestly, think about when a child needs comfort. Why your hands on their body make a big difference. Right? So this is two very gentle points. Here's a really cool one. These are called horizontals. What happens if you get sudden or you have one block? Yeah. Exactly. Oh my God. Well, guess what? In Chinese medicine, this is triple down. This is the meridian that steals from all other meridians to help rebalance back to the body. So hands on your temples, or one hand in front and one hand in back. Extremely balancing, quieting. And you're finding yourself in a position of having to deal with a lot of stress or difficulty. 1 minute holding an, oh my God, neurovascular point and really shift things up in the nervous system. And just notice inside how you feel right now. Just get quieting. Calm. And it's subtle, and that doesn't mean your thoughts can't hijack it in 1 second later you're back at it without thinking about anything else. But these practices, when you keep bringing the nervous system back, educates us physically about where the body wants to be, because we're not designed to be in this chronic state. So how this applies to me is this, as I watch people move on patterns, there's trauma pattern that kind of pulls up on one side if you have a broken leg or arm or this kind of thing. Is that when you notice an area that's been chronically confused, if you can very compassionately and kindly tense that area very slightly, the more subtle the better, and bring it into your awareness with tension. And I'll show you my pattern, because I shattered this leg on the horse when I was 15. And my pattern is this. So I have a really hard time. I can't turn my head left as far as I can right. It's old patterning. It only took me 30 years to get back to doing that. So there's changes in the bones. I don't have pain. So what I've learned is I actually lie on my side and I draw myself into the old pattern, and I feel it, and then I very slowly, consciously, that tells the primitive nervous system, I'm paying attention. I've got this. And it tells that part of the nervous system that reflexive, that wants to protect you, to do that. And things will calm down and quiet. That might have been in a state of concentration. So sometimes it almost feels like magic when people start to tune into this. But we spend so much money and time going to doctors and pills, surgeries, and things that we hope will bring health and well-being from the outside in. And a lot of times we largely overlook, we're designed a certain way to come back home to ourselves, to the environment around us, and to each other. A lot of that tension starts to move. So you may find that you can make resolutions and actually let them sink in from a place of compassion and safety with body. Oh, I think I can do that. Gratitude, moving ahead even when it seems hard, but just check eyes to the side, tensing and relaxing. These are all the hacks that we do to bring our bodies back to control. So I'll stop there before Mike gives me the peace sign. But does anyone have any questions? Anything at all?
That's your question. Have you ever read a Dr. Sarno's work?
Whoa.
Tension myositis syndrome.
There you are.
I had it. I was bedbound for a year.
Really?
Yeah.
Gosh,
So
you're
I
vibrant.
got a.
And you're wearing pink glasses. They're like awesome.
No, I know. It was in 2024. But I hired a coach. That whole world, there's so many coaches out there. I'm sure you know a lot of them, but
That's right.
that's what I did.
And Sarno's work, did you get into journal speak? Do you know about
I
journal
know
speak?
about that. There's other ways to do that from
Totally.
that are called different things. So
Yeah, that's awesome. I love
did
that.
all of it.
John Sarno was one of the original mind-body medicine practitioners, the doctor who identified, I think he was a little more on the, I would say like he identified the tension myositis as being rage and anger.
But it evolved.
And
He was
it's
the
evolved.
first one, and
That's
others
right.
took up with that research.
Exactly, yeah. And that's why I
My
mentioned
body.
journal speak, Nicole
Yeah.
Sachs.
Right.
Really
full
powerful.
sets. Yeah, I know.
Just so cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yes,
I
exactly.
know exactly what you're talking
Yeah, that's great. That's so cool. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, it's real.
about. It's real.
Yeah, we
It can happen to anybody.
it's in all in my mind. Well, guess what? Your mind is your body, it's your mind, it's your body. It's like no separation. And even we're starting to realize energetically, my mind isn't even my mind. It's like part of this ecosystem that lives within me and then energetically connects me to all of you. So it starts getting real out there. All that stuff we saw back in the 60s, it's real.
Are you aware of any studies that correlate chronic stress with political polarization?
You bet there are. That's huge.
That's real too.
And if you think about it, the ability to be in healthy social interactions requires a real quieting of the nervous system so you're open and curious. And many of the polarizations, people are jacked up into these modes where they cannot be in that state. So you're spot on. You bet. That is for sure going on.
Pretty sure there's an uptick, yeah.
There's that.
I'm pretty sure there's an uptick.
Oh, for sure. No, there's no question. And I'm thinking a lot about that. Like, what's the best thing that we can do? Come into your own state of gratitude, bring it down instead of up, express appreciation. Most of us have not been seen or heard. And we spend an awful lot of time trying to make sure we can be seen or heard. All of this noise out there. But when you actually can be with someone, even somebody in the polar opposite, and find a way to see their humanity and let them know you see them, it's extraordinary. But that requires us to be regulated. So the first thing is put your own oxygen mask on. Come into that quiet inner state in yourself as a practice before you try to deal with that kind of stress. Because there's a lot of it. That's a great question. Thanks for that. Yeah.
Melanie, I want to ask you about your own practice here in the community.
Yeah.
Can people contact you?
Absolutely. I put my cards there in the back. Thank you very much. And I have a YouTube channel where I give a lot of this. I really love doing them. So Dr. Melanie Card at Dr. Melanie Card on YouTube. My cards in the back, and I have a practice. I don't take any insurance. I will work with people if they need to be worked with. Often what you'll find is seeing me for a short period of time is cheaper than all the co-pays of your 20 years. I love doing that. Thanks, Mighty.
Thank you, Mel. I feel better already. Just getting started. Our next presenter, also a multidimensional practitioner. If you're here in the community long enough, you're pretty likely to hear about somebody that's been helped by her. She's really had a wide reach here in the community and done so much good work. And Tara Older is a hydrotherapist, and she talks about wellness through simple choices and aligns both the nervous and digestive system. And there's a handout here about the digestive system that she's passed out. So hopefully we'll have that as a reference sheet. Tara Older.
Thank you, Melanie, and thank you all for being. I also believe in that collective consciousness really affecting my own health and socially not only in this greater community, we have something special in the room area. So I want to just have you maybe ask yourself, you don't have to raise your hand, but I know that the number one reason that people go to the doctor's office for care is for digestive services. So you can imagine, well, first off, let's just maybe show a hand. Any of you been eating on the run, maybe while driving the car or talking on the phone or watching the chronic negative news? Anybody? I know that I can. And how about anybody here? You don't have to answer, but experience some form of indigestion. Maybe it's bloating or gas, diarrhea, constipation, some form of distress. Very, very common. And so what I was hoping to encourage you all to consider tonight is how we can make simple adjustments. Just minor adjustments, personal choices that can enhance your digestion versus the ones that we might be just in a habit of making that has a lot of potential and quite possibly has been compromising. So to begin, does anybody know where digestion begins? Do y'all have any ideas? In our mouth? Anybody else have an idea? Well, I am gonna say, yeah, you got the olfactory going. So there's this symbolic phase of digestion that actually begins in our mind. So thanks to Jan, I'm gonna have you all imagine a juicy lemon, and you just go within and connect and listen and take a breath. Close your eyes and imagine you get home and it's already happening for me. I'm salivating. I can see the juices coming out when I cut the lemon open. And I'm going to squeeze it into a clean glass cup and then I'm going to just drink it straight. What did you experience when I took you on that little journey? Did anybody start salivating? Yeah. So actually digestion begins in our mind. When we think about food, we see it, we can hear it crackling on the stove. We can smell it, we can touch it. That actually sends messages to our brain to start creating different salivary juices. So we've got enzymes that play a role in beginning the chemical digestion of carbohydrates and fats inside in our body. We've got these amazing parental gland and cheek cells in our stomach that produce hydrochloric acid, which is actually very important because hydrochloric acid combines with pepsinogen, which is the original form of pepsin. Without that combination of hydrochloric acid with the pepsinogen does not actually get activated and begin the chemical digestion of proteins. And this is important because proteins are actually one of the most complex foods. They take the longest to go through the digestive tract, and we need those chemicals to begin softening and swelling them. So popular media might say that we're all just dripping in acid. It's a problem. You've got GERD and heartburn as a result of you have too much acid. So take these ROLAIDs, and you gotta remember those commercials, or Tums, or we can give you some fancy prescriptive antacids that shut down the mechanisms that are making those chemicals. And unfortunately, what happens is without that, then we actually don't have that initiation of chemical digestion of protein. And protein can start to putrefy and sit in the stomach longer. And then we might be producing indole and skatol, ammonia, alcohol, methane, and hydrogen gases that are potentially going to be taking up more space in there, thus giving us sensations of bloating, right? And potentially gas. And if it's pushing higher up and we're working it, we might start to have heartburn, which is a precursor for esophageal cancer, which is a big time on the rise. Not something you want. So there's simple things that you can do. Now, backing up a moment, since we know digestion begins in the mind, and we just learned a little bit about how we can activate the parasympathetic nervous system and re-regulate, like step away from that sympathetic nervous system, that fight, freeze, fawn, where we have energy going out to our extremities, going up to our brain for logic and critical thinking, and to our legs and arms so we can run away from a type. So in order to regulate, put that sympathetic nervous system at rest, we can go within, connect, listen, feel the earth, breathe, and set aside our grievances and go into a place of gratitude. Just the act of putting your hands together for a moment allows some of that energy to go within, for you to remember that connection to all life. So rest and digest. That is the number one simple step that you can do in order to begin enhancing your digestion. How do you do that? Maybe you put yourself as a priority and you carve out, you time block mealtime instead of let's eat a meal while making an errand and trying to pay the bills or watch the news. You can actually set aside time and make that a quality experience. Now, some of you said that digestion begins in the mouth, right? Well, that is where mechanical digestion begins. And that is the only place that we have the mechanical tools to physically break open the cell structures, to break apart some of the fibers, let some of the vital life nutrients be released so that they can actually be in an absorbable form. Even healthy fiber needs to be able to absorb water and liquids so it can plump up and be like a nice little broom and sweep through the digestive tract. So what do we want to do? You guys had your little handouts they gave you. I think I did give you one. Anybody got any ideas? What would we do? That's right. So first we're going to rest and digest. And maybe tell yourself loving, kind thoughts like, I am blessed, I am supported. I love my neighborhood, I love my neighbors. Things that are going to put you in that calm, relaxed state. It's not going to be the time to probably watch politics. And if you do that, you might actually notice something's happening in your body, maybe in the muscles. Maybe you're not getting that nice expansion in your back that Melanie talked about. And if anybody doesn't want these handouts, I'll take them, I'll give them out and teach classes about different parts of the world. It's kind of fun. So first we talk about resting and digesting, and then we're gonna chew. Okay. Once we chew, the food is no longer food, right? We're not going to eat it again after it's been chewed. We're going to put it on our plates. It's no longer food. It's now mixed with saliva. Some of the chemical digestion of carbohydrates and fats have begun. Refluxes take over, and really awesome mechanical movements. Fancy term called, anybody know it? Yay! You know, peristalsis, which functions based on that parasympathetic nervous system, which is activated by your vagal nerve, which is your 10th cranial nerve. I love massage review. I didn't just know that off the top of my head, but it was interesting. And there's two of them, one on each side of the body. It goes from your brain all the way to your butt. And when that is toned, which you can do several things that Melanie taught to keep it off the hum. So some yoga teachers call it bumblebee breath. You can do a little tapping on your thymus. Any of these things are just so helpful. But whatever it is that you do it and activate that parasympathetic nervous system so that peristalsis, the expanding and the contracting of the long tubular channel, that is what we call our digestive tract. Begins in the mouth, goes down our esophagus, goes below our diaphragm. We've got this incredible muscle that takes up our entire rib cage area that has a little hiatal opening in it, which is where the tube of the esophagus goes through that diaphragm. And just below your diaphragm is a very lovely organ that's like a reservoir that we call our stomach or our tummy. It's higher up. It's not down here. You got something going on there, and you probably have something going on with your guts. Because that's it, those are your guts down there. Your stomach is actually much higher than the it is. It's protected by the rib cage, but it is below the diaphragm. When people are having hiatal hernias, anybody heard of that? Yeah? Anybody had it? So, it's not exactly fun. Part of the stomach is pushing up through that hiatal opening in the diaphragm. Why do you think that's happening? Why would gravity be pushing something up?
Ain't going down.
That's right. Compromise. We had too much pressure in there because maybe we didn't chew, maybe we pressed in our chest, maybe we combined our foods in ways that are quantified. And there was indulged gas, ammonia, alcohol, methane, hydrogen, gases brewing in there. That your own kombucha factor. But it's not the good kind of bacteria. It's the kind that is opportunistic and it likes to feed a bunch of its not so fun friends. Sometimes parasitical friends. The ones that take all your nutrition and leave you with its waste. And then you wonder why you're kind of tired. So we're going to rest like this. We're going to chew, and allow that peristalsis to force the contents into the stomach. Past the stomach, different things have different transit times. For for example, maybe you only need 30 to 45 minutes in the stomach because they're high in water, high in fiber, high in enzymes. Some of them high in sugar, and I want to live off that. But they're going to put their center starch and carbohydrates 2 to 3 hours. What is the most complex food? I already mentioned it. Protein, 5 to 8 hours. Okay, so you want to maybe take a look at how you're combining your food. If you're combining it in ways that enhance digestion, maybe you have your protein with a salad. The salad's going to help that protein digest. Move along. You're probably not going to want to have your protein with a starchy carbohydrate or with a fruit salad because it can slow down that fruit salad. What do we know about grapes? 2 minutes. They can start to ferment, and then what are we producing? Alcohol. Yeah, exactly. So anyways, from the stomach, we got the small intestine. Most digestion and absorption is going on in the small intestine. From there, the contents pass into the organ that is my favorite organ. It's called the colon. It's also called the bowel. We have a bowel movement from there, or the large intestine. And ideally, transit time would be between 18 to 24 hours from when you ate something to where you completely evacuated it from your body. And if that's not happening, you might want to go do some bowel retraining and give your body an opportunity to have a bowel movement after every meal. You can train your body to ride that wave of peristalsis by giving yourself an opportunity. If you don't give yourself an opportunity, you're just going to override that urge. Probably not even going to get the urge because you already trained your body years ago not to have it. But if you literally go and get in a squatting position, when you are in a squatting position, you're holding the bowel channel in an open position that is compromised when you're sitting on a toilet. So you might want to get some kind of stool or some way to assimilate a squatting position. But just by doing that and giving yourself an opportunity, you have more of a chance of having consistent bowel movements regularly. And the more you poop, the better you feel. So have a poop for every meal. And that's it for this. You have notes. I will say one final thing, that what we think with our mind really does have an effect on our reality. Some quantum science has been talking a lot about that. So if you need some help with that rest and digest state, I give you all affirmations to come up through. Remind yourself, that you're part of the perfect rhythm of flow of life, and see if a little bit of relaxation settles in. And thank you. If anybody wants any of my little goodies, I did bring extra. I do offer a lot of free educational information on my YouTube channel and on my website. And lots of previews.
Thank you, Sarah. Sarah, all the way back home. I hope this is going right in your refrigerator.
And affirmations go great in the bathroom when you're retraining.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect. So there's a few things to chew on, so to speak. Good stuff. With that, we go to the sense of smell. And as a therapist, I've always been fascinated by the power of this sense of smell. And I just don't think it's talked about enough in therapy, really. It's the quickest route to the brain. And we have a practitioner here who makes sense out of her work. And she can be found at the holiday market and in our neighborhood with a wonderful factory full of incredible ingredients she'll tell you about. And
Are you talking about me?
Talk about you. Jerry Waldron.
I'm Terry. You guys, I printed way too many, but I'll use this later. I'm Terry. What Mike is referring to is that I am a entrepreneur. I own a company called Policy Stone Soap. I make organic soaps and body care products. I've been doing this for 10 years now. For some reason, Mike thinks I'm qualified to talk about fragrance oils, and I'll do my best. So I just want to hear a little bit of my story, what happened, how I started on this. My husband passed away at the young age of 54 with pancreatic cancer. And I'm not saying why I know why he got cancer. Nobody knows that. But that sort of launched my career as a soap maker. Because I was teaching high school art at the time in Portland. And I wanted him to have the best material. I wanted him to have the best diets, we paid at his diets. We vowed to fight this, he's been given, diagnosis of 11 months to live. And we rejected that. We decided to go into integrative medicine and we used herbal medicine along with conventional allopathic doctors. But my end of things was, we had met, he had a terminal diagnosis 4 months into our relationship. And people said, "You're trying to get out. This is what's right." I said, "No, I'm in because we're already in love. It's that quick." But so being who I am, a researcher, I did all this research around cancer and pancreatic cancer. But one of the things was that wasn't my control was helping him clean up his diet. And I went through our whole household, inspecting everything from eating things that we eat to things we put on our skin. So I started making organic soaps because I thought that I had more control over that. It became obsession because it was so much fun for me, and I would run home from school and make soap after teaching all day. So that's what I started doing. So that's my passion. That's why I started it and just kept going. Andrew, and he ended up living 6.5 years in St. Louis. So pancreatic cancer usually gets to quick. So I don't know why, the love, the support, who knows. So tonight I want to talk about this handout because I think a lot of people, I'm sure a lot of people in this group are very much aware of fragrances that things we bring into our home and the potential for toxicity because, so some of this may be a reminder to some of you, but I also think that a lot of us don't really take a clear inventory of what is in our home. And also there are unexpected things that are in our home that we suspect that have fragrances. And fragrances are, sorry, I'm not that prepared. So the problem with fragrance oils is that they're made in a laboratory. And a lot of studies have been done. They're known to potentially disrupt the endocrine system, okay, which can in turn lead to a variety of health issues, including cancer.
Here, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I just want to let you know that there seems to be some weird people hanging out across the street at the Brian Slater's place. They're hitting a car. There's a small fire out there. We called the sheriff and fire department. That's it. Thank you.
They're out there. So anyway, so they're using a lot of personal care products. They're using detergents in our home. They're using dish soaps. They're everywhere. Dryer sheets. Oh, there's such a long list. So they interfere with hormones. They potentially do chronic illnesses, and that have long-term impacts on our lives. And even even some of the there's so much research on it, and we don't even fully understand it. Can reduce exposure to these fragrance-free products that are phthalate-free or paraben-free products. But honestly, even some of those, I'm not sure. So I just wanted to introduce you guys to some alternative products that you can use out there that you can make yourself. I want everyone to take, I brought 3 samples for everybody. I made a detergent for you guys today. Take one. You can take spoons of detergent, one detergent, put it right in the dryer. There's a recipe in here. In the washer, there's a recipe in here. You can make it yourself. You get all these things from basically. So the one of the ingredients on here is there's one of the ingredients on here. So baking soda is pretty easy. washing soda, Fred Meyer didn't have it. You can make your own washing soda by putting 2 cups of baking soda in a sheet pan in your oven at 400 for 1 hour. That would give you washing soda.
For baking soda, 400 degrees 1 hour.
So you can make your own washing soda by baking in your oven at temperatures of 400. Baking soda on a sheet pan, and that will give you washing soda. You can make it yourself. Because I couldn't find washing soda, but I could find a borax at Fred's. I found borax, and everybody has baking soda at home, right? So that's easy. And then to make the washing soda, oven 400 for 1 hour on a sheet pan. And then the grated, one of the other ingredients is a grated bar of Castile soda, and that is just okay. And so you want to grate that in a grater basically, and grate it. So I made this for my business. I make my own soap for this. But you don't need that. You can just buy this. There's another brand that you can buy as well that will give you that. So this is a non-toxic way of washing your shirt and doing your washes, and it's pretty good. It's really potent. It does a great job.
I used Terry sold them and won the lottery last week.
Yeah, I have good luck. So that's one way to avoid one end. And the thing is, this is cheaper than buying on your shirt. So you're gonna save yourself a lot of money.
And we stopped making vital.
Really are. Yeah. Another thing you can do, and you don't have to buy my soap, but there are a lot of dish soaps out there available that are made with just 100% coconut oil. Be careful of the ingredients. When you read the ingredients in a bag, if you don't understand one of the words on there, don't buy it. Because I understand all the ingredients, right? And these are concentrated. So just using your brush, I just use a simple brush that can go in your compost bin and lather that up, and you can wash the dishes, your counters. I wash my stove, kitchen. It's a great all-over cleaner. You can get these. I wonder where you get these. You can probably get them on Etsy. You could probably get them. I don't know if any place in town that sells it. But you make it. But I make it. Yeah.
There we go, that's already good.
There you go.
I got some,
So
it
there's
looks
some-
good.
And she has that's good, right? So yeah, you can buy mine. I'm not there to like sell you so much. There are others that do make this.
We'd rather buy it from you.
These were the most popular at the farmer's market.
This is how you make,
Yeah, this is my company.
what can I look at?
Because I do the Eugene Saturday market outdoors, and I did the holiday market. And another thing you can do instead of room cleaners is that this is my room cleaner. All you need is grain alcohol and essential oils. So 2/3 grain oil with a little bit of water and some essential oils, and you've got a really nice room. Okay. Instead of buying toxic things to, and you can spray this on your linens, you can spray it on the clothing, you can spray it on your first time. So that's an alternative to room cleaners. Also just baking soda, vinegar. Those are great cleaners. They're cheap. Yeah. They're easy. So the surprising things. So here's the absurd. It's what you guys said. Like, go home and look at things in your house because you would be surprised. So there's an absurd list I brought. And by the way, this handout I gave you, that's an interactive website. Go to their website. You click on the stuff, the pets or laundry, it'll take you to a PDF. It'll tell you exactly what's wrong with those products. If you really want to dive in deeper. So some of those absurd things that you would not suspect are baby's diapers, anything baby products, perfumes for dogs, anything having to do with animals, okay? Cat litter, scented cat litter, these are really common. I mean, think about it. Do you have something in your house that has fragrance oils in it? No. So don't take my word for it. This sheet, you can dive deeper again to find out what the real health effects are. Scented pillows and mattresses and furniture. For sure. Really? Okay. Damn it. Skin creams, nasal sprays, pet beds, shampoo, toys, air filters, humidifiers, fire logs, garbage bags, scented garbage bags. Horrendous. We grow plants, but we use our own plants to scent our house. That's fine. That's where essential oils are. Yes, those are safe. Essential oils are safe. So we're assuming all of these things are. These are commercially available and they are essential fragrance oils. A lot of soap makers out there use fragrance oils too. I don't know why, but they do. So it's why. Fragrance oils are ones that are made in a laboratory and they're synthetic. You can always ask the soap maker, how are you scenting it? Where does your scent come from? Is it pure essential oil or does it come from our fragrance oil? I think they should be honest with you.
And anything that says parfum, P-A-R.
Oh, yeah, parfum.
That's hidden way. It's French stupidity.
Yeah.
Nothing about
If you don't
natural.
understand it, don't buy it. Scented toilet paper, scented tissues of any sorts. Razors, disposable razors,
Like mine.
car washes, clothing, magazines with those perfume pullouts, school supplies, markers, crayons, toys, children's toys, scented pacifiers, candles. Everybody burns candles, but you don't have to, you can burn candles that are scented with pure essential oils. You don't have to use those fragrance oils. Or just beeswax. Beeswax is fine too. That's also very safe. Facial mask, anything you put in body on your skin, car sprays, deodorizers, deodorant, I think deodorant is only scented with essential oils. They're really dangerous. Underwear, adult diapers, baby diapers, I'm getting ready to, I'm gonna be done. Carpet cleaners, those are the worst. Bubble chalk. Wrapping paper, nail polish. I love nail polish, but it's terrible. Even scented Epsom salt. So anyway, you guys, just take an inventory of your home. Use the handout. Go to that website. It's a great website. It's really informative. And you can type on any subject and it'll go right into the PDF. Tell me what's wrong with that product. Question.
For the dishwasher, or for the.
I don't. I'm looking. That's when I get that. Okay, I wish I did. But in the meantime, try to get things like that unscented. It's your home, you guys.
It seems like this might work in the dishwasher. Maybe without as much.
I'm researching it. I would.
Borax and baking soda.
Maybe. I'm researching it.
Good.
I'm researching
And
it.
we get in touch with you by your email here.
I put my business card in every bag of raw materials.
Thank you.
You can find me online. You can find me at the Teaching Center Market Outdoors. And
Thank you.
I have a question though. Well, I have something to add because I am an internal cleansing specialist working with people all across the world. It is real. People end up with systemic toxemia due to the entourage of toxins and all the things you just mentioned. And some people literally die over it. And of course, like you said, it's an engine crime to stop it, but there's a number of issues.
And these go into our waterways, they affect wildlife, it goes on and on. Some of the organic effects, yeah, and how it's produced. And once it gets our animals, like that's one thing too.
Thank you. I want to buy your phone.
You should smell the other soap she has. They're great.
I made soap and then not using. It's still in the supply. And I want to clean. Not a
Well, take a deep breath after all that information.
feel like if we did this.
And our final presenter is someone we all know and love. Claire is here. And she's going to present on Chinese medical Qigong. And the subtext is syncing with the seasons. Claire Strong. Here it is.
S-Y. Okay.
Although, you guys didn't know, this is another career I had. I don't currently teach, but I used to teach. And I have some handouts to take one of each. So a lot of people, I mean, Qigong is a hip thing, everybody knows about, sort of, but I get a lot of questions about, oh, is that the same thing as Tai Chi? And so I want to explain a little bit about that. So medical Qigong is based on traditional Chinese medicine, which is about the organs and the symbols, relationship to the environment. And it's about collecting life force energy from your environment and being in tune with your environment. Whereas for instance, Tai Chi is a martial art, so you're pushing your energy out. Qigong, you're bringing your energy in. And the idea is to build a reservoir of life force energy in your body that you walk around with, you know, and you're really powerful because you have this column of chi connecting you to heaven. Okay, that's good. One of the things to pay attention to is the change of seasons. In this tradition, seasons are connected to different body energies. And on the handout, on one side of it shows there's a two outline of bodies. Traditional Western medicine shows the body as a machine, right? In Chinese medicine, the analogy is to a garden. The body is a garden. Okay, so it's looking at what is the balance with energy to the body. Do you have too much water? Yeah. Do you have too much fire? So the idea is to balance out all these energies in your body, and keep your body in relationship with your environment. So, winter, the other handout is about winter. And winter is associated with beginnings. I was thinking like I wanted to come right after Melanie because it's building on each other there. So, first of all, does anybody have any direct experiences with puncture? Okay, so there's an exercise you can do it, there's time to do it, which is if you're practicing Qigong, it's a mental exercise. A lot of times I took the Qigong class that they teach here and I recommend anybody can take it, but they don't do anything with the mind. And the tradition that I come from, there's a whole nervous system that goes with it. So, you lift the ball of Qi into, hold the ball of Qi in the rainbow, bring it down your central channel. And hold it into your onto your. So there's this, the teacher, when you learn how to teach, memorize narratives that, so your mind follows the energy. Directs the energy into the body then moves in synchronicity with that narrative. And it's a form of meditation because your mind has to be in sync with the body. And slows your mind down. I can actually say that. So, one of the things you can do when the sun comes out for a minute. I know by the time I put my shoes on, it's raining, but is you want to kind of collect energy into yourself. So you could just, this is that Qigong stance, slightly pigeon toe, relax knees, relax hips, let your stomach hang out, just relax your belly, relax your shoulders, relax your head. Yeah. Take a deep breath.
You bring your hands around in front of you to hold ball of chi in front of Lord Ancien. And your hands are relaxed. If you feel pain, it's because the chi is being blocked. If you're tense, your chi is being blocked. So always you're relaxing with qigong. You're keeping your eyes open for this particular exercise because your eyes bring in a lot of energy. So you go out and you find that sun, which is usually the south, so you face south. You relax your body and you bring that chi mentally into your lower dantian, into your belly. And you can just stand there in the sun for as long as it's comfortable to do so. Bringing in the sun, bringing into the heat and fire into your body. And that recharges and fuels your body in the cold winter. Then you bring your hands slowly to your stomach and condensing that chi into a smaller ball and bring it inside your body, into your lower dantian, which is the center for energetic holding. And bring your hands up to your waist, down the sides, and bring your hands together, warm them up. Another important point, active point, is now gong. Gong means work. Qigong means working your chi. Right? And then just press your face. You don't even touch your skin. Just up, down, up, down, up. Hold your hair from front to back, which massages all of your active meridians in your head. Bring your palms to back, bring that forward into prayer position. And then put the cup of your hands over your eyes and massage around your eye sockets. She wanted to look at your ears. She likes So there are a lot of different kinds of qigong because it was developed through families. And, so all the different lineages of the practice come from different families. Plus, in the past, I don't know how many decades, it's been scientifically developed for specific things. So there's one called 6 Healing Sounds, and that a lot of the different lineages use. And I'm going to share with you only one, which is kidneys, and it's on the handout. And as I said, kidneys are important for winter. Winter, the colors are black and blue and cold or kidneys. So you're supposed to keep your kidney area warm, you know, scarves and sweaters and belts. Ponchos. So this is to cultivate kidney chi. Okay. And the sound, each of these, there are 6 exercises, but we're only going to do one, which is 6 corresponds to. And the mantra is two way. Is it okay? Two. So you start with in your relaxed position. You put your palms of your hands, your long against your kidneys. Better to do it direct to the skin, but you don't have to. And you're gonna stroke your back up, down, up, down, up, and then bring your hands in front of you. With your mind on your elbow, hold the ball of chi there. Bring it in. Your sides. See that three times. And stick your knees down, up, down, up, down, up. Two. You feel that energetic vibration. So that's 6 healing sounds kidneys.
It's on your handout.
Find it on Spotify.
This is a fantastic book. I went to a workshop with her, and writing works once, and it has all of the 6 exercises in it. You can take a picture of it for your reference if you want. It's specific to women, but not only women. There's a lot of specific to men. So that's a quickie. I'm sorry I'm not teaching anymore, but I can take class through the rest. Do you recommend that class? It's okay. The one reason why because I get all critical because it's not like what I do. But it's fine. Yeah. I like to read it. Yeah.
Thank you, Claire.
Oh, I brought a couple of different pictures there. I'm gonna look at them after.
Maybe I should.
Sure.
So in the last 5 minutes or so, I'd like to teach you something. Definitely was going to be here to talk about emotional regulation. I thought, what could I teach in that category? My name's Mike. I'm a licensed mental health practitioner here in the Detroit area and clinical social worker. And one of the things that I've learned that I think I can teach in 5 minutes, might change your life, might not, is called tapping, otherwise known as emotional freedom technique, if you want the clinical term. That makes it sound legitimate. It doesn't sound too, clinical to call it tapping.
Should use the initials as EFP.
Yeah, doesn't that sound official? Yeah. And it really is the best practice in psychology. So this is something that insurance companies will pay for, so it must work.
Wow.
Yeah,
Really good outcome studies, and just anecdotally, a lot of people come in and learn this, report some pretty wonderful results. We've heard a lot today about regulating the nervous system, and that's what this is really organized around, and why a lot of people take on tapping. But you can tap on anything. You can tap on procrastination, worry, even physical conditions. For now, I'd like to use anxiety as an example of something you can tap on. Anxiety is held in the nervous system, and in order to regulate it, one of the core principles of why I think tapping works so well is a principle called bilateral stimulation. And you've heard some references to that here already today. And a lot of psychology comes down to going across the brain barrier with bilateral practices. So we do things like EMDR, biofeedback, things like that. You can find a pretty common theme around bilateral stimulation. Even walking is very healthy for that bilateral condition. So with tapping, I think 95% of it is in the setup. And the setup is coming up with the thing you'd like to shift, anxiety, and an opposite statement, which creates the bilateral, which creates the tension, with 2 opposite statements being equally true. Even though I have anxiety, I'm able to calm. Now, you want to have an opposite statement you actually believe. You don't want to kid yourself into something. Often tapping uses as an opposite statement, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And unfortunately, tragically, a lot of clients come to me and say, I don't believe that. And so we work with something else. We massage the statement until it is something that's both opposite and something we believe. So for now, I think most people would believe that I can calm, that I'm able to calm sometimes. So the setup would be putting those 2 together in a sentence and tapping on the side of the knuckle. And it can be a karate chop. medium tension, don't knock yourself out, or, nothing too light either. Even though I have anxiety, I'm able to calm. Congratulations, you just done 95% attack. Now for the other 5% is what you'll see on YouTube. If you don't remember any of this, if you go to YouTube, remember you're not seeing setup usually, but you are seeing pretty consistent tapping or emotional freedom technique. So from there, it's just alternating those statements with what are called meridian points. These are sensitive places where the message can get into the nervous system. So starting with the crown, this is always fun to watch people do this from this chair. I have anxiety. Above the eyebrow, I'm able to calm. On the side, I have anxiety. Below the bone, I'm able to calm. Below the nose, I have anxiety. Above the chin, I'm able to calm. Here, I have anxiety. And then either side, under the armpit, about 3 inches, I'm able to calm. And then let it sit. Feel the tingling. Maybe you won't feel anything at all. Just whatever happens in your body. Most people feel those songs. One of the questions I get is, how often should I do this? Every day. So almost every day, whenever it's up for you, you want to conjure in the feeling of anxiety. You don't want to do it with a thought of anxiety, but you don't want to be in anxiety either. You can be. But mostly just kind of getting a sense of what anxiety and calm feel like. And you do this for, a month to 3 months, and your nervous system does reorganize. It does start to rebalance. You don't have to do it the rest of your life. And it will give you a sense of internal balance to some extent. So that is the Reader's Digest version of the tapping. And thank you for your attention. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you, buddy.
Look forward to be well. You've been
Anybody
here.
here for the first time?
I am for my yoga class, trying to do my fast.
Well, thank you. Thank you for coming. I hope that the variety of topics was entices you to come back for a different variety, which next month will be Willamette River Keepers and an initiative that's on the ballot for Lane County for the rights of the watershed. Legal rights of the watershed. It made it to the ballot, collected the signatures, it made it to the ballot, and so we're going to talk about that. So it's the first Monday of every month. That's right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, I forgot something also that the woman whose book I passed around, she also is on YouTube. And you can learn this and feeling down.